Hello NFL fans, welcome to NFL Picks with Dave. Before we begin today, I have a few announcements. First off, I want to apologize for not uploading a video last Thursday. I was taking that day off from my daily life and ran out of time to do a video. Secondly, there will be no new video on Thanksgiving week due to me spending more time with family. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions about the Thanksgiving break. Okay, moving on. Today we're going to predict how things will play out this week in Week 10 of the 2021 NFL season. Last Thursday, the Dolphins shockingly defeated the Baltimore Ravens with a score of 22-10 in their first win over them since 2015. The train of upsets continues into Week 10, ladies and gents. Let's now move on to Sunday's games. Our first Sunday game takes us to Nashville, Tennessee, where the Titans will take on the New Orleans Saints. Tennessee last week killed the Rams with a score of 28-16, while the Saints lost to the Falcons in a heartbreaker with a score of 27-25. Since the Saints are without Jameis Winston, I'm picking the Titans with a score of 27-17. Our next game is between the Bills and the Jets. Buffalo last week shockingly lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars with a score of 9-6, while the Jets got bulldozed by the Indianapolis Colts with a score of 45-30. I predict that Buffalo will bounce back and defeat the Jets with a score of 37-20. Our next game takes us to Foxborough, Massachusetts, where the Patriots will battle with the Cleveland Browns. New England last week defeated the Panthers with a score of 24-6, while the Browns smacked the Bengals with a score of 41-16. This pick is a tough one. Since the Browns scored more points, I'm picking them with a score of 31-24. My next picks are the Buccaneers over Washington, 24-10. The Steelers over the Lions, 31-7. This pick is the lock of the week. The Colts over the Jaguars, 27-24. The Cowboys over the Falcons, 35-28. The Broncos over the Eagles, 34-17. And the Cardinals over the Panthers, 42-14. Now let's move on to the later games. Our first late game is between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chargers. Minnesota last week lost to the Ravens in an overtime thriller, while the Chargers defeated the Eagles with a score of 27-24. This pick is a tough one. Since the Vikings scored more points, I'm picking them with a score of 24-17. Our second and final late game takes us to the frozen tundra, where the Packers will host the Seattle Seahawks. Green Bay last week lost to the Kansas City Chiefs with a score of 13-7, while the Seahawks had the week off. This will be Seattle QB Russell Wilson's first start in the month after he's placed on injury reserve after suffering a finger injury to his throwing arm. Aaron Rodgers' return from the COVID protocol is still up in the air. This pick is a tough one. Since Seattle usually struggles in Green Bay, I'm picking the Packers with a score of 31-21, spoiling Wilson's return. Now let's move on to the last two primetime games. Our first primetime game takes us to Las Vegas, Nevada, where the Raiders will battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. Las Vegas last week surprisingly lost to the New York Giants with a score of 23-16, while the Chiefs defeated the Packers. This pick is very tough. Since the Chiefs had a better performance, I'm picking them with a score of 24-20. And now, the last pick of the week. It's the Los Angeles Rams taking on the San Francisco 49ers. The Rams last week got humiliated by the Titans, while the 49ers got crushed by the Red Hot Cardinals with a score of 31-17. This pick is pretty easy. I'm picking the Rams with a score of 35-13. And that does it for today's episode. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to get the latest videos that's posted to this channel. Also, be sure to like and follow this channel's Facebook page. Thanks again for watching and hope to see you again soon.